Thank you so much for joining us. And right now it's getting very traditional this morning. We're going to be making tamales. I believe it is such a beautiful activity that families share with one another. But it's not just the process of making them that makes this so special. I think it's the recipes too, right? We have cooking influencer Andrea Diaz joining us to give us a lesson on tamales. Andrea, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me. So are you ready?
I am ready. So tamales, I feel people might be intimidated. What a long process, but we're getting started right now with the core, the recipe of the meat.
Yes. So I'm gonna ask you to put some oil here. So this is the red. There's two tamales that we usually do, and then you want to put the red. So this is the red sauce, which is the tamales rojos.
All of this sauce you want me to put in here?
So then that is with guajillo, chile, ancho chile.
Wow.
You boil them, and then you mix them up with other spices and stuff like that. Go ahead and mix.
Okay.
And then you could go ahead and add pork. The red tamales are usually made with pork.
Okay.
And then
why do you think, is that just because flavor, right? I grew up with these as well. Some you know, they're
like
you don't change the recipes.
Yeah, they're like the OG of tamales. And then the other one would be the green ones, but that one's with chicken.
Okay. And for the pork, what cut of pork should someone use?
So you should use either pork butt or pork shoulder.
Okay.
And you want to you actually boil the meat with a bay leaf and some onion, and you do that until it's really fork tender.
Okay.
And those two parts are the kind of like the softer parts of the pork.
Sure.
So
and they cook like, they just like almost shred a little easier.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, I can see it even right now.
Yeah.
And also, I feel like a little bit of the fat from the pork give it that flavor.
It gives it that flavor.
I'm hungry. Stirring this, y'all. I'm like, this looks so good.
So sometimes we use also the red chili sauce to make the masa to just give that reddish color.
Okay.
To it. So that's how you usually just go for it.
Okay, so this is one of our tamal stuffings, which, like you said, Andrea, very traditional for sure.
Yes, and those are the chiles over there that we're...
These are the chiles that you said you use to make...
The guajillo and the ancho, and these are the corn husk. And then the next one is the green one, which uses tomatillo, jalapeno, cilantro, and chicken.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ask you to basically make one.
Okay.
So if you wanna...
So corn husks, should they be wet, dunked in water?
Yes, they actually, some people do it for an hour. I usually do it overnight just because you really want the softness.
Okay.
And to be really soft so you could be able to fold them better. Some people will like tie them up, but I feel like if you add them, like you leave them in water longer, you don't have to do that little knot at the end.
Okay, great. Well, that's a good tip for sure, so people don't just use them dry.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a very important part, I believe, as well.
Yes, you have to use it this way. So you're gonna like the
pointy part?
The pointy part to the end.
Towards them, okay.
And then the other part towards you.
Okay, and now?
So then you're gonna go ahead and just spread it.
And how, is there a technique to spreading?
Everyone has different. Some people use the spoon, some people use a spatula, some people use actually the tamal presser. Just because it's easier, but you just want like a thin layer, not too thick, because then also some people get annoyed and they have more masa than
You're right,
me.
that's me. I'm like, I like them nice and thin and smaller, because if you have a big fat tamal, you get so full, you can't taste all of the other flavors.
Yeah, so you just spread it, and then also the masa, you make it with maseca and lard.
Okay. Why is that? Is it also just help stick better, maybe?
Yeah, it gives more flavor to the masa. If you weren't to add it kind of would taste like a tortilla bland a little bit.
But can you go to the store and buy the pre-made masa as well?
Yes, you can, but it's easier to make it yourself.
Okay, and I know the Mexican meat markets carry that masa. In some places, specifically like tortillerias, they have the masa as well. So you guys can get that there. Okay, so this is what it should look like.
Yes.
Okay, and then the next step?
I'll let you do that, and this is the
filling.
The filling for the green.
Is that enough?
Yes,
okay.
that's enough.
So 1 spoonful you would say is enough. Do you smear it?
You actually make it more of a
skinnier. Okay, let me use my fingers for this, y'all.
And then you're gonna fold to one side, and then kind of like one. And
like
then
that?
One.
Okay.
Press it down a little bit just to like
I feel the power, y'all.
And then just bring that back.
Guys, my mom would be proud. You know, she made such delicious tamales, and Thank you, Andrea, for this experience. Y'all, if you want to learn more about tamales, Andrea, how can they reach you?
They can reach me on my Instagram and Nomás para Picar, and you can follow me there. I do give some cooking classes. So
Great, you did such a wonderful job. I feel like I was in your kitchen right now. You want to show them what you have there? Y'all, look what we have for you.
And then you would just finish and add it into your vaporera.
Oh, and so this is a special vaporizer, or
this is you
is
can
it
do
a
it
crock pot?
in an Instant Pot or a vaporera. You just fill in the water, you stack them all up, you add water in there, and then you just heat it up for about an hour, pressure cook it, and there it should be ready.
Your tamales are done. Well, thank you so much for bringing this tradition to Great Day.